Alright, good day. So for today, we will have a short demo on the installation of our operating system using our VMware workstation. So we have here a workstation 16 Pro. This is a trial version, and then we also have our operating system, Windows 7 Pro, again for trial purposes only, for demo purposes, and a Windows Server 2008. Okay, so before we start into the installation, we need to know that we have to secure a copy of our operating systems. Okay, if we don't have the license key, then don't worry. This is just a demo purpose, so we don't need to um, have this one running all the time. So we just have to try how this software can actually run on our computers. Okay, so to start with, we need to click the create a new virtual machine. Okay, so upon clicking it, a wizard will pop up, and this one will prompt us of our installation. So we click next. Okay, so on that screen, we have our pointer for the installer. So we have here using a disk, using an image file, and installation of the OS later. So we'll choose this second option using a disk image file, and then we need to point it to our installer. So just click the browse and then point it directly to our installer. Okay. Then upon having it done, so click next, and then it will prompt us with our Windows product key. Okay, again, we don't have the product key. We'll just run this one through a trial version. Okay, click next, and then proceed. So for this moment, we will have this one renamed using Windows 7 Pro, and then the code of the class 762. Then click next. Okay, so we'll just follow the specified capacity for the maximum disk. Click next. Okay, so what's this one? Click next. So finish. This will now create our installation disk. Okay, after that one, a new pop-up will show, and it will prompt you for creating this. Okay, so upon setup, it will now load our operating system. So on the typical hardware installation, this will prompt us for the press any key on the upper leftmost side of the screen. So upon startup, you need to press any key so that the installation will proceed. So this will take some time, okay? Because after the first installation process, it will get into the Windows installation. So, okay, we have here setup is starting to take some time. It also depends on the speed of our processor as to the installation process. So the older units will take some time to install, and others will be a bit shorter. Okay, so here we will choose the Windows 7 Professional. Okay, better if you have a 64-bit architecture for this one, but only have here an x86 architecture. Okay, so we click next, and then proceed to installation window. Okay, so it will take some time before this can be done, so we just need to wait for a while. Okay, so in the exam for the CSS, while you are installing the server and the client OS, you need to work on the other stuff like crimping of cables, patching your cables to the patch panels, and terminating all things for the network side. So for you not to waste your time, because if you will wait for the installation, then most likely it will eat up your time. So you need to multitask. So while waiting for the installation, make sure you are busy working on other stuff. Okay. So also there are things to watch out on the installation. Okay. So you only have to press a certain key, okay, or any key at the very first run of the installation. So after completing this installation window, this will ask for a restart. By that time, you must not press any key, because if you do, then it will restart the installation to the very first moment. Okay, so to take some time, we are now under expanding Windows files. Okay, so just be observant of your screen. Okay, and then we'll wait for its restart. Okay, 91%, 92, 93, almost done. All right, so we have done. Okay, now for the updates. Okay, it will restart. Okay, you can click restart now or wait for the system to restart on its own. Okay, this time we must not press any key on the actual installation. Okay, so you restart, starting the windows, and then it will continue the setup process. Okay, so I think it took us around 5 minutes maximum to finish that one. That is given if you have a faster CPU, okay, a faster processor unit. But if you have a bit slower, then it will take some time. So on typical installation, this will take around an hour, okay, for those older computers, or maybe more than an hour. Okay, so we're now completing the installation. All right, so okay, so take some time, and then we need to wait again for another restart. Okay, so what are the things that you must do during the installation? Again, work on the network component. So you need to crimp cables and you do the other stuff. Okay, so this will take some time. You just need to wait. Okay, setup will continue after restarting the computer. Okay, we are on the third set. Okay, so we're almost done for the installation part of our operating system. After completing this one, we need to install also our Windows Server. Okay, so usually when you buy computers or laptops, upon opening it, you will have this portion of the screen, the third run of the installation. It will prompt you with setting up the OS, and then to show you preparing your desktop. Okay, so we'll do some configurations after completing the desktop. Okay, so welcome to our desktop. This is now the setup of our computer. Okay, since this computer is connected to a network, then it will prompt us for a network connection. So we'll set this one as home network. Okay, so let's check later also for the IP configuration of our computer. Alright, so we'll just click next. Alright, so we'll click finish and we're done. Okay, so on this portion, we have our Windows 7 Pro. Okay, so some stuff are currently installed. Okay, so here, the next thing we need to do is to set up our administrator account. So we have accounts or user accounts in this OS, and we need to enable our administrator account and then disable our guest login. So why are we doing it? Okay, in the field, so we need to disable the guest login and other logins so that only the administrator and the domain users can log into our computers. So usually the administrator accounts are being held by our ICT offices. Okay, so they are the ones who manage our computers. So password for the administrator are being set by our IT personnel. Okay, so let's check on the, okay, just put it, let's wait for the installation. Okay, so while waiting, let's do our task also. Alright, so some tools for VMware are currently installed. So on the installation in the typical computers, this portion will no longer be shown to you, okay, because this is good only for the VMware. Okay, okay, let's just skip some of this. So there might be error along the way. Let's just proceed, and hopefully things will go well later on. Okay, so there are some errors on the installation. Okay, install, and then hopefully it's will be done. Okay, so we're starting. So after installing, then we need to proceed into the user accounts. So let's get into the user accounts after completion. Okay. Okay, so this is now our screen. So let's get into our setup. So click start, then right click on computer, and we go to manage. So this will show us the computer management. So a pop-up will be shown to you. Now we get into the local users and groups. Okay, so on the users we have different users here, and then we have groups here. Okay, so let's get into the users. Now you can see that administrator, we have administrator, and then we have guest, we have home group user, and we have our default account. So we need to enable our administrator. So we go right click and get into the properties. Now there are options here. So usually, okay, we can have this one, user cannot change password. And then of course, password never expires. So you check password never expires and then uncheck the account is disabled for us to enable the account. So uncheck this one, okay, and then click apply and click OK. So we need to set up the password. So right click on administrator and then set password. Okay. So if the user knows the password and wants to change it, he or she should log in, then press Ctrl Alt Delete and click change password. So click proceed. So let us have a password. So at this moment, we'll use the password P at sign SSW0RD. So again, we have P, the at sign SS, a double S, and W, and 0, number 0, and then letter R and letter D. Then click OK. So password has been set. Click OK. So then we'll disable some of the components here. So we have this home group, properties, okay, disables account, click apply and then okay. And this default, we need to disable this one. Okay. And then we go for a restart. And by this time, we should be able to enter to our administrator. Go restart. Okay. So Windows is now starting. Okay, so this time we will be prompted for the password of the administrator account. Okay, so your account has been disabled. Please see your system administrator. Okay, click OK. Then check other user. Type administrator. Okay, and then key in our password. We have P at sign SSW0RD, and then log in. Okay, so prompt us preparing your desktop, and then later on we need to check and verify if we are now logged into our administrator. Okay, just click OK. Alright, so log off. Okay, so again, P at sign SSW0RD and click proceed. Alright, so we are back onto our desktop. So let's verify. When you click this start button, it will now show you the administrator login. Okay, so let us set up also the computer name so that it will be easier for us to identify later our computer. So we have computer, that one, right click, and then go to properties. Okay, so this is the properties of our computer. So we have our computer name here. We need to change this one. You click into change settings and then go to rename this computer or change its domain or work group, click change. So click change. Right, so we have here our computer name. Change this one. We will use this one. Let's see. Have CPE 113L dash 762. Oops, I'm on numlock. This is 762. Or better yet, let's remove dash. So we'll have CPE 113L 762 for our computer name. Then click OK. So then this will ask for a restart. So you need to click this one before we can have everything to be changed. So click OK. Okay, close this one and then do a restart so that changes will apply. Restart now and it will set up our computer name. Alright, so wait again. So this time we need to log in again to our administrator. So at this moment, we have to work on the administrator side. So click OK, other user, say administrator, administrator, R, okay, and the password. Make sure not to forget the password. Okay, so let's check and verify. We have computer, right click, go to properties, and then we now have CP113L762 as our computer name. Alright, so very good. Okay, so let's check with the network setting. Let us see if this can be connected directly to our network. Okay, the network of the mother computer. Alright, let us see. Okay, so we go into our config. Right, so we have an address under local domain 192.168.180.132. Okay, and there is no internet access. Okay, so let us now proceed into the installation of our Windows server. So as of the moment, please stand by and please wait for the video for the Windows Server 2008. Thank you very much. I hope you were able to follow the process of setting up our Windows 7 Pro, including the activation of the administrator login and our change of the computer name.